Hi, this is Dr. Tony Arricchetti, and I'm going to review with you how to complete your capstone thesis. First, some general guidelines. First, you want to read the syllabus and the schedule of assignments, which I'm actually going to go through now, but you'll have a hard copy of it. And the next thing to remind you to do is to review the video tutorials for completing each of the chapters. That will give you some information about how to actually work through the process. And then you also want to use the chapter templates, which really kind of lay out the outline for presenting the material. You want to always use the spell and grammar check before submitting anything because um, you just want to have this, um, look professional when it's finally done. And one of the easiest ways to do this is just submit it to the word spell and grammar check, and it'll point out problems that you'll have to remedy before submitting for your final project. Contact me anytime if you need some help at my cell phone number 646-842-1941, and submit any drafts that you'd like me to review and get some feedback on at my regular email address at tony.arricchetti@gmail.com. So the goal of this course is to design a patient simulation education program that you would propose to carry out. And this could be using standardized patients, mannequin-based simulations, part task trainers, any kind of simulation modality. And you don't have to actually be burdened with carrying it out. This is a thinking through of coming up with an educational design that you could carry out on a relevant topic. And it's going to include, in Chapter 1, the relevant rationale. Why this project? What problem have you identified that you want to solve through a patient simulation education program? You're going to review the relevant literature associated with that project, spell out the methods and methodologies that you're going to be using, and also designing some of the materials that you would use. And chapters 4 and 5, which are actually in many ways the easiest ones, because you just have to kind of outline what you've learned, what your recommendations are, what the implications would be of your project. And then finally, the week before ending, you'll present your project on a PowerPoint. It'll give you 15 minutes as if you're at a simulation conference. So here's a rundown of some of the significant assignment deadlines. By May 7th, please submit whatever you completed in MSMS 801, or whatever that course was called. There have been some changes to this final program. So whatever you have submitted, please give me your latest version so I can take a look at that. And right now you're reviewing the video on the thesis completion project, so that's already done. And you want to make sure week 2, set up a time to talk with me to discuss your thesis and how to complete it, and also you want to take a look at the video about how to complete chapter 1. And then in week 3, you're going to submit your chapter 1 no later than May 21st. And then also you're going to be viewing the chapter 2 video that will talk you through the literature review, which I think in many ways is one of the hardest things to do. You've got to compile minimum of 15 citations, critically review them, not just report on them, but you'll get some of the ideas about how to do this when you look at the chapter 2 video. And then in weeks 4 and 5, work on your thesis, work on the lit review, and finally you're going to submit the chapter 2 literature review no later than June 11th. And then you're going to review the chapter 3 video to get a jump on that, the methods and methodology section. And then in week 7 and 8, you're going to be working on chapter 3. And in week 9, on no later than July 2nd, you're going to be submitting Chapter 3, and also at the same time viewing the video on completing Chapters 4 and 5. And then finally, week 10, complete work on your thesis. Week 11, submit chapters 4 and 5 for a review no later than July 16th. And then finally, the last 2 weeks, you're going to work on your thesis, start to finish that up, and then the important thing this week is to present your final thesis project. And I will come up with a date that will work for us and give you 15 minutes to do a presentation, and you'll get some feedback on that. It's a really just a final summation of what you're doing on PowerPoint, as if you're actually doing a professional presentation at a simulation conference. And then finally, you're going to submit your final thesis no later than July 27th. This is really a firm date. I have to have it by then. So you're going to submit everything that you've already submitted, including an appendix section that will include any of the materials that you would use in your educational project, as well as the reference section for all articles that you've mentioned throughout. And you're going to submit the whole thing no later than July 27th. So thanks, and I really look forward to working with you on this project.